Before the outbreak of the Congolese insurgency 2 decades ago, the vast majority of the population depended on livestock and crop farming. All these activities came close to a total halt when all the livestock were rustled away and the farming community forced to abandon their farmlands to the relatively safety of the IDP camps. Though the rest of the country has lived in peace, the northern part of Uganda, namely Gulu, Lira, Kitgum, and the Butch district, have had insurgency activities. Thousands of people have been uprooted from their homes and killed. Others have been marched off to far distant lands to military camps in the Sudan and forced into terrorist groups that have come back to the northern part of Uganda and have caused some of the most heinous crimes. Thousands of youths have been abducted from schools and either sold as slaves to the Arabs in northern Sudan or turned into sex slaves and wives of commanders of the notorious group called the Lord's Resistance Army. The government of Uganda, in response to this attack on the people, has, for the safety of the people, made camps where thousands of internally displaced refugees now live. They're called the internally displaced people. Their conditions in these camps are, to say the least, horrendous. They live in squalid conditions. Sanitation in the camps are terrible. Most of these people have been victims or witnessed atrocities so cruel, it is a wonder that they can even smile. Within the camps there are thousands of orphans. There's what they call child-headed families. These are children who've been left orphaned by their parents, and the oldest is about 14 to 17 years old. They in turn have to be parents to their siblings who are only 4, 6, or 7 years old. One young girl who was only 16 years old, who watched her entire family and relatives killed, could not go to school because she was responsible for her brother who was 4 and her sister who was 7. She had to attend to her garden of vegetables to feed them. There are about 29 camps scattered in the northern part of Uganda with a population of about 2 million souls. We were able to bring tons of food in trucks and pickups to feed the children. Some areas we used pickups because they were hard areas to get to. We also provided scholastic materials to the young people who were able to go to school. Visiting them in their huts gave us another glimpse to the living conditions. Some of these children also became mothers while in the camps. There is much defilement of the congestion of people in the camps. There is a sense of hopelessness. Many of the young people have not gone through the trauma center. There's no counseling for the adults, and those who have been responsible for the killings and have now turned themselves in, it's very difficult for them to adjust. But we know there is an answer. Jesus is the answer. With a renewing of the mind, we see they can either be good citizens and even make good Christians. affair, but it was worth it. It seemed like a drop in the bucket, seeing the oceans of people standing before us. You cannot help but love the children who were innocent in this war-torn area. They stood silently in the hot sun, patiently waiting for the food, seeing that this area had had a famine in the past.
Lord, I thank you for your people here. Anoint them and bless them. We've arrived at the camp. It's taken us a whole day just to get here. And as immediately as I walked in, a terrible sense of hopelessness. Awful sense of hopelessness. So right now the truck has just come and we're going to go over there and see how we will give the food out to the people.